A music landmark is celebrating its 100th birthday. Luke Burbank has found us two on the aisle at the Hollywood Bowl.
If you're looking for the perfect LA day, you'll want to soak up the sun and play in the sand at one of its many beaches. But for the perfect LA night, you'll need to head about 20 miles inland for an evening under the stars at the Hollywood Bowl. Nestled in one of Hollywood's many canyons, this amphitheater has been the Southern California destination for fans and performers for a century.
You see the Hollywood Bowl, you listen to great music there, the sound arrive amazing, Hollywood sign, you have the sky, you have all of that. So
Gustavo Dudamel is the music and artistic director for the LA Philharmonic. The night we were in attendance, he was conducting a salute to George Gershwin. If Dudamel looks right at home here, it might be because this is where he made his U.S. debut at the tender age of 24.
It's overwhelming, especially because the history, you see the Hollywood Bowl in films, in cartoons and all of that. And when you arrive here, you feel all of that historic background.
The Hollywood Bowl has often been the backdrop for great moments in TV and film. From beaches to the Beverly Hillbillies.
Well, there are your 20,000 seats.
And all of it under that iconic band shell, or at least one of them.
So this band shell was built in 2004, and in fact, it's the 5th shell of the Hollywood Bowl.
Chad Smith is CEO of the Los Angeles Philharmonic Association and a bit of a historian for the Hollywood Bowl. He says the original idea was to have a different band shell built every season, but that proved too expensive during the Great Depression. Fortunately, the shell, built in 1929, was iconic enough to stay in place for almost 75 years. And what a run it was. Over the decades, everyone from Ella Fitzgerald to Elton John have performed here. There was the famous Beatles concert with screams so loud they could reportedly be heard about a mile away on Hollywood Boulevard.
This was a pool.
A swimming pool.
It was full of water.
That was until 1968, when Jimi Hendrix showed up.
And he was playing, and the audience just started going more and more crazy. And at one point, people rushed down and jumped over that gray wall and started splashing around and swimming in the pool. And at that time, the leaders of the Hollywood Bowl said, I think it's probably time that we drain the bowl.
Today, that spot is one of the fancier sections to enjoy dinner and a show. But higher up, like way higher, the bowl makes $1 seats available for many of its shows. The $1 seats are a nod to the Hollywood Bowl's earliest days and the original vision of its founders.
Well, it was a group of theosophists, activists, politicians, artists, civic-minded people, but really it was a collection of really powerfully persuasive women who decided that what we needed in Hollywood was a space where we could present the great art forms for the widest possible audiences at low costs with almost no barriers to entry.
And a century later, that mission lives on. The Bowl has survived a world war, a pandemic, financial ups and downs.
I was a Hollywood high school student, and I got a job here.
And 84-year-old Ron Goldman has been here to see a lot of it.
My job was to take a stack of programs, put them under my arm, and run up and down these stairs, hawking the program.
Goldman credits that job with making him the music fan that he is to this day.
It's hard not to fall in love with the Bowl once you've come here. You hear great music in an extraordinary atmosphere, and it has helped me to really appreciate classical music, popular music, all forms of music, and that is something that has informed my life a great deal.
For Gustavo Dudamel, it's not just the music that moves him, it's also the silence.
Imagine the concentration, the silence of 18,000 people, you know, listening to the pianissimo.
The sound, or lack thereof, of 18,000 people together, listening in perfect rhythm.
That only happens, you know, in a place like the Hollywood Bowl.